Feeling myself, but I stay in my lane. I know you thinking you nice, but you sounding the same. He need to switch up his flow, but I know that he ain't. Shit, maybe he want to and probably can't. He talk a lot, but ain't saying a word. He's 16, sounding like he be lacing his herbs. Reggie Rock told me time to just focus and spit. Quit worrying about the niggas abandoning shit. I dropped broken and they told me quit biting your tongue. The way you writing sounded like you forgot where you from. Say you from the hood, but you sound like a minister now. Yeah, I could take it there, but shit, I just like how this sound. I should address some of this drama, but letting it go. Shit, I can't keep playing with you niggas, I'm getting too old. The last words Bone told me I never forget. Quit playing with this music and do it to death. Shit, I came back.
You're now watching the End of the Bench podcast, Build and Destroy, hosted by your man, H-Rap B. Good evening. Thank you for tuning in. This is H-Rap B. This is Build and Destroy on the End of the Bench media. Thank you for tuning in. If you are tuning in via Facebook or YouTube, hit that thumbs up, please. Share, tell a friend to tune in. It's important. I have a mouthful tonight. Running in late, and for those who text me, thank you for the text and thank you for the support, but I had to do some things with my family, so I had to be late. I didn't want to miss today because it's important with the things I'm going to talk about today. As usual, I did shout out to my ancestors. Those are my parents. Without my parents, there is no me. That is Dolores and John. Without them, I do not exist. Thank you for the tune in. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the like. Thank you for the share. You can also watch on www.theendofthebench.com, www.theendofthebench.com. That's the name of the media network and my website. It is important that you do those things. Hit hello, like, whatever you're going to do. Subscribe. Let's do it. I have the topic tonight is freedom. Freedom is important. It's the thing that we all fight for. We want respect. We want people to pay attention to us. We want to be a part of something. We want the ability to do what we want to do when we want to do it within the law, within the rules, within the means of society. It's honestly, that's what we all crave. That's why people like Dr. King and those people in the Civil Rights Movement and the Black Panther Party of Self-Defense and anybody else who's ever fought for their freedom, that's what they fought for. So you can have the ability to do what you want to do. Now, with that being said, tonight is important because the world was set on its ear. I literally wrote this out last week, and then we had some people come out. We had our brother Katt Williams step up. When Katt stepped up, he had a mouthful to say. He introduced people to concepts. He introduced people to what he perceived as the truth. I'm not calling him a liar. I'm just saying those are his truths. Those are the things that he believed in, and he feels as if he was being attacked. A lot of people have been talking about. You talking about 40 million people have watched that episode of Club Shay Shay. I watch it on a regular basis because I try to get better. And Katt even mentioned he watches comedians to gauge himself. He said, how many times can I make people laugh? And then, bam, that's what I'll do. I'll gauge myself against them. What I do when I watch podcasts is listen for interview questions, techniques, and things of that nature. So I will be more appealing to you guys, and it just won't be ho-hum, humdrum, and droll. So when I'm doing those things, I'm watching this episode, and I knew it was going to explode, but I had no idea. 40 million people will tune in to Katt Williams. For those people who I can't see your name in the chat room, please tap in to stream y'all so your name can pop up because it just looks like Hey B. I don't know who you are, but thank you for the support. Thank you, Theodore. Thank you, Golden, and thank you, Rhonda. And anybody else in the background, because I see it's a whole lot more of y'all in the background support. Thank you. Now, with that being said, it's important that that we as a community follow the steps that he laid out. A lot of people are laughing. You know, we had a good time on the forecast last night laughing about the things that Katt said. We talked about the salient points that he made, and you know what, those guys stole his jokes. But you know what? Katt Williams, in my personal opinion, he was speaking about freedom. When we were enjoying it, sometimes when you're enjoying something and you're looking at, you know, we're humans. We like to laugh at people, you know. We like to laugh at his storytelling and his voice and his inflection and some of the things that he said and the way Shannon reacted. But I was looking at it from a different perspective. Brothers, sisters, ladies, gentlemen, haters, and bitter friends. I was looking at it from a different perspective. Katt was talking about freedom. And when you talk about freedom, what freedom is to do what you want to do when you can do it within the law, as I stated a few minutes ago. We don't have freedom in this country when you look like us, because when we move around, if you're a man, you may be attacked by a police officer. You may be accosted by a police officer. You may be shot. I have literally been pulled over by a police officer, and he assumed that I was nervous, but I wasn't. For whatever reason, I wasn't nervous, because I'm on edge anytime I see the disco lights come on. Even if they behind me, I tense up. It's just part of being black, part of being a black man, part of being from the west side of Chicago, part of being on the north side of Chicago, part of being in America, right? But he walked up to me and he pointed to the camera that they have. He said, "Hey, don't worry, relax. I have my camera on." And without even thinking, it shot out of my mouth. What it means when we get shot on CNN. Now, usually I don't respond like that, but I did that day. That's a lack of freedom. Freedom is the ability to think about what you want to do, the ability to go and apply for a job if you want it, the freedom to open up a business, the freedom to be who you want to be. Do we have the freedom to open up businesses? You may say, "Oh yeah, man, that ain't no problem. If you got the means, if you got the capital, you can do it." The people in Rosewood thought that. The people in Greenville, North Carolina, not Greenville, Wilmington, North Carolina. People in Africatown thought that. And these people, all their towns, the people who many towns are underwater, that are living lakes at this very moment. They thought that. They thought, "Hey man, we'll get our things together and we'll do our own thing." And then white nationalists, aka white supremacists, they come through and say, "Hey, nope, you can't have it. You got to work up under us." You don't think that's possible, but DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, is under attack. And who are they under attack by? A couple men. Couple men in particular are attacking DEI. I got it in my notes right here. Didn't have their names. I don't have their names memorized. I was talking to my baby this morning, and she sent me these two names. You know what I mean? This evening. Sorry. Chris Rufo and Bill Aikman. Bill Aikman and Chris Rufo are billionaires, and they're doing everything. They're putting money together and fighting diversity, equity, inclusion. What is diversity, equity, inclusion? That is so you will have the ability to do what you want to do. Or you can apply for a law firm. A law firm shouldn't be, if the country ain't 99% white, why is a law firm 99% white? Why is a software firm? Why is all these entities 99% white? Then you get people making statements like, "Hey, you are affirmative action hire," disregarding everything you've done. Well, I'm going to arm you with something this evening just to respond when people say, "Hey, you're affirmative action hire." When you say you're a white nationalist hire, you're a white supremacy hire. And the response to that should be this: since you're a white supremacy hire and I'm a affirmative action hire, understand this: as an affirmative action hire, I had to be 3 times as good at this job than the average person in here just to get an interview. As a white nationalist or white supremacy hire, all you had to do was be white. So who don't belong here? See, what we've lost is our ability to clap back. "Oh man, I'm gonna lose my job." You're not gonna lose your job. And if you do lose your job, that's an opportunity for you. See, we've come, as again, is that freedom? Is working for someone freedom? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There's nothing wrong with having a place of employment to go to every day. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's also nothing wrong with doing what you want to do and chasing the opportunity to create your own legacy. See, we've lost that ability to get that freedom. See, James Baldwin, when you listen to James Baldwin or read James Baldwin, you often hear him talk about feces. You hear him talk about dirt. You hear him talk about mud. Why do you do that? Because guess what? We all have bowel movements. We all touch dirt and filth every day. We all have dirt on our bodies. That's why we take baths every day. See, freedom is exercising what we have in common versus what we don't have. Our skin are different, our lips are different. If you're a woman, our women are built different. If you're a man, our physiques are different than white folks. Those are the few differences we had. Guess what? You get a kidney and put it in a black man and a white man, so forth and so on, and vice versa. Those people will function the exact same way. You ain't gonna be able to dance a little better because you got a white kidney, a black kidney, or a white liver, or some white black blood in you, and you ain't gonna be able to do whatever white people do. Your lips not gonna get skinny because you're dealing with white folks. And these are the things, these are the freedoms that I'm talking about. But one of the greatest freedoms in the history of the world is the freedom to do what you have the capacity to do. The freedom to do what you have the capacity to do. Katt Williams made a statement to our brother Shannon Sharpe, and it went right over Shannon Sharpe's head, in my personal opinion. I personally believe it just flew over his head like a 747 on vacation. And that is the principle of Nia. Nia. These are the principles of Kwanzaa, right? It might be a little small for you guys, so I'll read it to you. To make it our collective vocation to build and develop our community in order to restore our people to our traditional greatness. That's Nia. That's one of the principles of Kwanzaa. And like everybody be like, oh man, that's that black stuff, man. Come on with that black stuff. And I often look at the people, they're crazy because you're shunning that black stuff, but that black stuff rolls through your soul and your spirit and who you are. But the reason I brought up Nia is Shannon Sharpe in June, he was fired. He was fired. He did not realize this was an ultimate opportunity to be free. He had the opportunity to exercise Nia, to make it our collective vocation to build and develop our community in order to restore its greatness. Shannon Sharpe was fired on national television. Initially, they told the world, well, he left. He decided to leave. Later on in the summer, we found out Brother Shay was run out of the building. He was asked to leave. He was fired. And what did he do? This dude had 1 million subscribers. Now, I don't have 1 million subscribers, but if you have 1 million subscribers, that means you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even millions of dollars on a monthly basis, because you get a certain amount of dollars every time one of these programs come on. And when you guys come, I get a little piece of change. Understand that. I don't get the money that if I had 1 million subscribers, and if y'all know 1 million people need them to subscribe so I can do better content and we have a better situation. But he had an opportunity to create his own lane. He had 1 million people, just like the people who faithfully tune in with me, and y'all hit the like button and y'all share, and I appreciate it. He had 1 million people that say, hey, we like what you're doing. He gets fired by this white man because Skip Bayless assumed that he was the straw that stirred the drink. So they was like, hey, man, you got to get the hell out of here, Shannon Sharpe. Fox Sports Net said, hey, Shannon, Skip is our guy. You have to go. And what come along with that, he was able to take what he calls Club Shay Shay, and he moved forward. No problem. Shannon had the entire sports world and some people in pop culture saying, what is his next move? What is Shannon gonna do? Is he gonna go to do the Pat McAfee route and create his own lane? Is he going to go to ESPN and team with Stephen A. Smith? What is he gonna do? What did Shannon do? I'd be getting run out of time by one white man, that man was Skip Bayless. And I keep saying the white man because that's what it was. It was a situation where Skip Bayless felt he was more powerful. He had controls of that brother's freedom. You won't be anything without me. And that's the trap we fall into when we walk away from entrepreneurial opportunities. Now, this is when Nia stepped in. I'm going to say it again for the people who just got in. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like, hit that share. To make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community to restore our people to their traditional greatness. He was already great. He had 1 million people subscribing to him. So what did he do? He went and got a job at ESPN. Not a problem. He's only working 2 days a week over there. He got a couple $1 million. Big up to Shay. But what did he do also? He partnered with another white man. Now, people will say Colin Cowherd is nothing like Skip Bayless. But is that the case? It doesn't make a difference. If Colin Cowherd is nothing like Skip Bayless, why didn't Shannon? There's several black podcast entities out there. Why didn't he partner with one of them? That's to build our community. Why didn't he do it and create an opportunity for other people up under him to follow him? But what he did was say, hey, it's not cool to have my own thing. What I want to do is partner with another person that's not from my community, that's not going to do that has no ability to help me because you are in a black space. See, he could have followed the Tyler Perry model, but what he did was follow the Charlemagne the God model and team with iHeartRadio and other people. And oh man, he's trying to get the bag, right? That's what people would make the excuse for. But he has the bag. Shannon Sharpe was a multimillionaire before he ever set one foot on the Fox Sports Net thing. On anything on that lot, he was already a multimillionaire. He was set for life. He made millions of dollars in the National Football League. He made millions of dollars on CBS Sport. He was okay. And he had been on Fox Sports Net for 8 years, making an excess of at least $2 to $3 million a year. So financially, he was straight. But he didn't want to be free. See, it's an adage that people attribute to our ancestor, the great Harriet Tubman. I could have freed more people, but if they had known that they were slaves. She never said that, but it's a cool thing to put it right. It's kind of like when you at church, a lot of things are attributed to the Bible. They sound real good, sound like something God would say, but it's really not in the Bible. So we don't know if it was said or inspired by the people who wrote the Bible or not, but it does tie in, and that ties in. Shannon had the opportunity to be on his own. The reason I'm bringing this up is Shannon has 35 to 40 million views on one episode of his podcast. So his other episodes have gone up from a couple 100,000, 50, 60, 70, 80,000, or maybe 500,000 to 10 million views on the Steve Harvey episode alone. And the other guys that I'm quite sure, if I looked into such the entertainer and the other people, their views have gone up too, because you want to substantiate what has been said, the conjecture, the rumors and things of that nature, basically keep the pot stirring, right? And that's what we did. I'm not angry at that. Trust me, people, I'm not. But what I'm disappointed in is this. Mr. Sharpe, why did you feel it necessary to include this man into your pile of money? That's foolishness. That's tomfoolery. That's a lack of mental freedom. That's a lack of spiritual freedom. You didn't think you were good enough. You didn't think you were good enough to do it on your own. You didn't want to spend your money. So what did you do? You went and got somebody else to split the money with. Now you have to spend the money with him, split the money with him until this contract is over, and you miss out. Why did you do that, Mr. Sharpe? This was foolish. If you ask me, it was a foolish way to go about this. It was a foolish way to go about this, because had you just stuck to your guns, guess what would have happened, brother? You would have been in the mix. You would have had your own thing. You wouldn't have to spend split the tens of millions of dollars that you've made just in the last 5 days. And this is why we continue to struggle, because we don't see the freedom in doing it on our own. We want to move together. Katt Williams mentioned it to him. Katt Williams even mentioned it to him. He was like, hey, I do things on my own. I invest, because he asked Katt Williams this question. You were down to your last $22,000. You were down your last $25,000. You put 22 into your tour. Why did you do that? He said, because if I don't invest in me, how can I convince someone else to do it? But see, now, think about this, folks. Katt Williams mentioned that he is on a 100-city tour. On the worst, we're just going to do the worst. Worst case scenario, he's doing about 6,000 people a weekend. That's 650,000. That's $600 at $100 a ticket. That's about $600,000 a night. $600,000 a weekend, 100 weeks a year. 100 shows a year. So we're talking about $500,000 every night. You're talking about $60 million a year. Let's just say half of that goes to security, paying for the venue, and paying the other comedians with him. It's $30 million. That's the type of money Shannon Sharpe just walked away from, because he has to split it with someone else. We must remove ourselves from those chains. We must stop assuming that we need other people to ensure our success. This is why we get caught up in these foolish tropes and arguments about ourselves. And this is what leads me to the next principle of Kwanzaa that I want to talk to you guys about. He mentioned, Katt Williams mentioned, and I know that small people, so I'll read it, to build and maintain our community together, to make our sisters and brothers' problems our own and solve them together. Now, the reason why am I talking about that? Because remember, if Katt Williams, what I just said, if Katt Williams, it had Shannon Sharp put himself in a situation to whereas Club Shay Shay is solely owned by him, produced by him, and put out by him, you're already a millionaire. Guess what? Now you find you a black production company. Now, the next person along the lines of a Melba Moore, who you like, we always, the new thing is you got to give people their flowers. Our sister Melba Moore, one of the greatest singers in the history of the world, some of the best music of the 80s. I haven't seen in a very long time. So, I'm quite sure she can still sing, but she wasn't respected enough to get her own star in the Walk of Fame. She didn't make the money that everybody makes. I'm not saying that she's poor, but she just don't have $50,000 so she can be recognized. Listen to that. We want to pay homage to you. We want to pay homage to you. So what we're going to do is this: charge you $50,000 so we can let the world know that you're a star. But guess what? It's 55 to 60 million people that look like me and you in this country. And guess what they do? Those 55 to 60 million people, we know who Melba Moore is. And if we don't, if our children don't know, all we have to do is play some our music. Most people love good music. I don't care if you're 8 to 80, old, crippled, and crazy. You love good music. Melba Moore used to get down. And as Katt said, she was beautiful. Katt stepped up and he participated in this form of Kwanzaa, Ujima, to make her problems our problems. Instead of saying, oh man, we ain't never gonna come together. See, that's our problem. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you are the kind of person that get up and go to church every day, and if you are the kind of person that's always talking about, man, Jesus, 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 well, guess what? That means you believe that you speak things into existence. And if you speak something to existence, guess what? Guess what that means? If you spoke it into existence and you said it ain't never gonna happen, that means you have just said things are never gonna get better. See, we defeat our own purpose by talking these things out of existence. We can no longer do that. We can no longer, oh man, that is never gonna happen, rap. This sound good, blah, blah, blah. Unless the next thing out your mouth is rap. I love what you're saying. That ain't never gonna work, but I want you to do it this way because I know it'll work this way because I tried it this way and it worked on a small scale. So if you do it on a large scale, I'm sure you'll be more successful. You're not doing that, you're defeating the purpose. Look, is it difficult? Yes. And again, go back to the Bible. The Lord said if you were born of a woman, you're gonna have some struggle in your life. So it's been written. As my man Nas said, it's been written. It is written that you're going to have struggle. Nobody said this thing was going to be a cakewalk. Nobody said when you get married, y'all just going to skip around like the Smurfs and do the square dance and go in circles. And she was going to go in and never burn a meal. And he was going to never always take out the garbage without asking. Your gas tank was going to be full. Your car was going to be. Nobody said that. It's going to be struggle. It's going to be some strife. But what we have to do is understand those things are part of life. You don't, and I'm not saying like you gonna struggle. We ain't standing out in the cold struggle. I'm just saying there's gonna be some difficulties. It's gonna be days that your best friend, your sister, your brother, your aunt, your uncle, your mother, your father, your grandparents, your significant other will get on your last nerve. But as they get on your last nerve, what I want you to understand and what I want you to do is realize I wouldn't want nobody else to get on my nerve but that person. That is my person. That's why I get up and work every day. That's why I send lunch money every day. Because I don't care what you say. I got your back. I will roll with you. My friends, my family, my significant other, they don't never have to question my loyalty. You might not like my methods, but you never have to question my loyalty. And these are the things that we must get in tune with. We must get in tune with. Exactly. Thank you, Golden. Chance the Rapper. He put Anita Baker on. Anita Baker, I can't think of the one singer name. He was a singer. The record label didn't want to get him $50,000. Anita Baker hit him with $50,000. His video blew up, and he went on our most prominent singers from the 80s. These are the things that we must realize. Why everybody keeps saying, oh man, A-Rap, man, brothers and sisters ain't never gone. That person, get them out of your space. That person, get them out of your space, because they ain't never gone. It's the person. See, that's a person who cannot dream wide enough. Their spectrum isn't as wide as yours. Their dream ability, their dream capabilities is not as steep as yours. They don't have the belief that you have in yourself. And if you don't have that belief, you need to get away from me. You get the hell away from me, period. I can say that where I'm at. Yeah, inside joke, people. You get the hell away from me, because I don't need you in my life. But these are the things when we not even realizing that Katt Williams was dropping knowledge on us, but we were looking at the chaotic situations. And these are the things that trigger. This is why I was sitting there watching. This is why I watched it twice. And I'm like, And the last thing, and the one I think is most important, is Ujamaa. I forgot to put it up on the screen. Ujamaa is the last one. It's the last one. And this is another reason I was disappointed in our brother Shannon Sharp. To build and maintain our own stores, shops, businesses, and profit from them together. This is, guess what? You guys right now are participating in Ujamaa. And again, all rap, there you go, that black stuff. And come on, man, what they got to do with it? But if you are participating in Ujamaa right now, because you are supporting me, I ain't getting millions, I ain't even getting thousands. I'm getting a few shekels. But you are making it possible. And this is why I am going to continue to do this. And this is why, as I do this, I will bring on people who have their own business, and I need you to buy. I got a guy named Cyrus coming on soon. He has books. I got my former coach, Coach Mike Maiden. He just started a black baseball league. I got a guy who has a body and fitness shop in Chicago. I got a few people coming on who are going to talk about what their wares. And if you have someone who needs one more customer, I had a person from my church. She's actually my pastor's daughter. She's coming on and she's going to talk about her doing hair and the things that she, look, all it takes is one or two of y'all. Guess what? If one of y'all go get y'all hair done by her and you like it, then you're going to tell your homeboy or your homegirl or your girlfriend or so forth and so on and so on and so on. This is what we're talking about. But Shannon chose to partner with somebody outside of the community. People outside of the community, how many of them come to our community? You know, and watch. I know it's somebody who's going to listen or who's currently listening saying this. Well, you know what, H-Rap, man, brothers and sisters be tripping. And I've got more respect from other people. I got respect from our people outside our community. I ain't had no issue with them. And I had a ton of issues with our community. Indeed, you have. I've had more arguments with my sisters, born feelings, than I had with anybody in the world. Do that mean I don't love my sisters? No. That means I had more time around them. I mean, that means we grew up in the same house and we've had 10,000 arguments before we ever even got a chance to go outside. That's what that means. So if I've had more arguments with Born Phyllis, because we spent more time together, if you have more issues with black people because you spent more time around black people, therefore you're going to have more issues. So if you only know 5 white people, you know 5,000 black people, who you have the most arguments with? Stop allowing the media. This is something else. Freedom of thought. That's another facet of freedom, because you're not thinking on your own. Capitalism is designed to make you believe that you're thinking when you're not. This the best in the world, but you haven't had everything in the world. Africans don't like black people. Why are we going to talk about going to Africa? The same reason all black people can't read, remember? All black people are lazy, remember? Because those are the same. If you're fed a trope, you're not thinking this. Oh, yeah, I did have a run-in with that one African guy, even though it's a couple billion people on that continent. I had that one run-in with that one African guy, and he determined the whole. Exactly. But if somebody say black people can't read, black people lazy, black people don't want to work, you got your lips turned up. Oh, black women ain't no good. That's all they do is chicken neck. That's all they do is this and that's that. They do this and that and that and this, right? Yeah, right. See, at some point, we're going to stop this dividing. We're going to stop falling for this divide and conquer thing. At some point, we just going to say, you know what? We don't do that. And I have the faith that we can do it. But If you keep listening to this guy and listening to that guy instead of doing research on your own, you're going to keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe. You know, Katt Williams mentioned something else. How is it that we keep giving our kids toys? Every Christmas, it's a toy drive. Why ain't no book drives? Why don't we have a book drive the last day of school, for the last day of school, so every child in this country and every child in our community could be given? It's 6 weeks. We need to have six. We need to put 6 books in every child that's leaving our schools walls. If you're not going to summer school, you need to get 6 books for the summer to read. One a week. One a week. Guess what happened? All of a sudden, the proficiency of reading it excels. See, we must stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. And people talking about, man, black people don't have it. See, this is the problem in the black community. They immediately go to poverty. I bet you most people who listen to this not struggling with poverty. Not impoverished. We're not rich. We're not wealthy. We don't have tens of millions of dollars at our disposal, but you ain't struggling to eat tonight either. We're not struggling. We're not doing any of that. And then they go, crime. Most of us have not been to jail. Most of us have not been to jail. So why are you talking about poverty and crime when you talk about black people? Because capitalism tells you that we must put somebody on the bottom, have somebody in the middle to make, and somebody on the top. See, the people in the middle and the people on the top, they are tricked into believing that you made it because you are the magical Negro. You went to Harvard, or you went to Yale, or you went to University of Illinois, and you got that degree, and boy, you'll be ready to go. No, it's the luck of the draw. Unless you have your own situation. The sister who just got run out of Harvard University, intensely qualified woman, Rhodes Scholar, not a Rhodes Scholar, outstanding scholar, one of the most prepared and efficient women in the history of that institution. And they ran off for plagiarism. And what's the guy name? I almost called him Troy Aikman. His name is, let me check my notes again. His name is Bill Aikman. Bill Aikman, who helped run off. His wife was caught at MIT getting run off again. She was caught plagiarizing. And it was some citations that they tried to use for plagiarism for the system. His wife, Miss Aikman, she has paragraphs that were been plagiarized. And it was blatant plagiarism. But you didn't hear that on TV, did you? This is why you support me. I get you the information. And we grow as a community. Again, your problems and my problems. Build up our community, put ourselves in situations to whereas we can do this, build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses to profit from them together. See, everybody wants to be rich. Well, I want so much money, I could write a check and the bank bounce. That's how much money I want. But the difference in me and a lot of people is this. I want to climb up, but instead of reaching up, I'm going to reach over, I'm going to reach down. See, your rap, I can help you with the production of your program. Mo, my man Mo, he in the chat room. I can help you with that. Rap, you can help me with content. Indeed, I can. Cheap seats. Bam. Rap, we could do this, we could do that. We bouncing things off each other all the time. This is what I'm talking about. Instead of reaching up, oh man, you can help me, Mr. Cowherd. Mo can help me. And then me and Mo come from working class to middle class. And then we go, Ray the Kev, who thinking about getting back into podcasts, he told me today. We can help Ray the Kev, pull Ray the Kev up. And then somebody see Ray the Kev climb. And then guess what? We pull up 8 people. And now each leg in our body is being held up by 4 people and pushed up to a higher situation. So we don't have a gang of billionaires. We have millionaires, multimillionaires, millionaires, and thousandaires, and working class. And we continue the cycle of pushing upward. We must get to that point. Oh, no, I made the bag. I'm only going to worry about me. That's this thing called rugged individualism that was introduced to us in the 70s. You know what that was introduced to our community in the 70s? Simply because people saw us on the uptick. So If we keep you on the uptick and pull people that from the downtick, keep people from moving forward, guess what happens? Guess what happens? You separate from the herd. Use nature as your guide. Nature can be everybody in the history of the world guide. Nature can help you in any situation. When you see, all you have to do is watch the Nature Channel, go Disney Plus, go to YouTube. When you see a herd of Cape buffalo and a group of a lioness roll down on that roll down on that herd. If it's only one or two of those lions, okay, buffalo smash that lion. You'll see lions getting tossed up. You got defenseless animals like sheep. They move in a group. They attack the one sheep that's away from the group. Nature teaches you everything. You are a part of nature. You're a part of the earth. That's why if you put your bare feet in the grass an hour a day, your body will get relief, because the centrifugal force of the earth itself will pull toxins out of your feet. You don't know that because you haven't been taught that. These are things that are not being taught to you. It's called earthing. I'm not telling you that. I'm not making these things up. They literally sell patches of earth so you could do it. Because the earth you are a part of it. That's why in the word of God, you say it's nothing on this earth. God put everything here to make sure you will be better. Now, I study to deem yourself worthy. Another piece of the Bible. See, we think it's all hocus pocus and blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. The book will teach you how to live. Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth. That's what it is. But see, you want it to be magic. You want to be the beings and magic tricks and watch this and talk to the burning bush. And no, just read the book, study. Listen to was it Paul who said to the Corinthians, I give you these allegories, meaning stories with lessons in them. See, we must start realizing who we are, what we are part of. And when we realize those things, you realize that there's no limit to your abilities. These are the things that Jesus even told people, I will make it so you'll be even better than me. See, but you're not listening to those things because you're waiting for the magic. You're waiting for the magic. And the magic is in you. What's those two ladies, the two sisters? It's the God in me. Yeah, that's it. When you realize he in there, he speaks to you. When you pray, you talk to him. When you meditate, you listen to him. Again, when I was speaking last week about meditation, mental awareness, mental health, and things of that nature, we get in a better situation. We can no longer sit still and wait on people to give us our freedom. Why? And Mary, thank you. Thanks, Moo. Mary. These are the things that we must pay attention to on a regular basis. We can no longer wait on things to happen. We have to make them happen. And then we have to be less impulsive. Why do we need to be less impulsive? Because things happen in time and when they're supposed to happen. They happen in time and in which they are supposed to happen. How am I calling this a microwave society? Because we have been brainwashed to believe it's now. The food heated up in 5 minutes. And now you got radioactive properties flowing through your body. And now you're literally eating, drinking poison. Oh, because I needed it heated up fast, because that 4 minutes that it takes to boil water was too much time. I needed 2.5. And how does that spill on to regular life? When last time you went, remember in the 80s, you go to the DMV, you knew you was going to be there 45 minutes to an hour. You just sat there like, it is what it is. I'm cool. But now, oh my God, it shouldn't take this long. You know what? That is a product of Amazon. What? Amazon makes me more impatient, because Amazon gives you the ability to go on Amazon. I want this pair of shoes, I want that hat, and I want these drawers, and they're going to be in my house, or they're going to deliver it by 4 o'clock today. I did it at 9 o'clock in the morning. 4 o'clock today, I got my hat, drawers, and shoes. The world don't work that way at all times. You have to cultivate. You must develop. You must have the faith in yourself and your abilities to get things done. And you must remove the negativity around you in order to get those things done. People don't believe in you, move around. People don't believe you, move them around. We can no longer think this way. We must remove these things. Oh man, they got an advantage over us. Nobody has an advantage over you. Nobody. Genuinely. Because again, we got 50 million people in this country that can support you. We have 50 million people that can support you. And if you believe that, then you can be in a situation to whereas you can win at all times. You can. I'm only one episode of making this whole thing pop. I went from making zip to making pennies, and then it's going to be thousands, then it's big millions. I'm taking other steps to make things happen along the way. I have to because I got people depending on me. I cannot miss a beat. But I understand that I must stay focused on the task at hand as well. You know, it's a benefit. Like, look at, I don't have. You have active parents in your family? Yeah, good. You got active siblings in your family? Yeah, good. And what I mean by active, they don't have to purchase your things. They don't have to support you, but they have to let you know, I saw what you did and it looked good. Keep it up. That's an active person in your life. Stop looking at what you don't. I ain't got $1 million, but I'm worth billions. Know that. Know that. Know that. See, we get in these situations to whereas we fall for the banana in the tailpipe. We only listen to the negative portions of the new, they were shooting on the west side of Chicago. Be safe out there, H-Rap. Them people out there crazy. Boy, some of them crazy people, my friends. And I have literally, I got a homeboy, I ain't gonna say his name because he's going a different route now. We hadn't seen each other in 10 years. I ain't never really know his name. We just travel in the same circle. We started working together. And he was like, hey, remember you were here then? He's like, yeah, I robbed that store right after you left because I knew you was a cool guy. So I'm not saying that hey man, just walk around with blinders on your head. There's no danger in the world. But guess what? How does the Bible start? The Bible starts with a dude killing his brother. So don't act as if violence and mayhem is new to this world, because it's not. It's not. Should we be leery and actively protecting ourselves at all times? Indeed, we should. Indeed, we should. But we can no longer just focus on the negativity that's being pushed down our throat on a day-to-day basis, because those things will deter us from doing what we know we have the ability to do. Guess what? Your neighborhood is violence being enacted in your neighborhood on a regular basis. You know why? Because at one point we just sit out in the front of our houses. You know, population deters crime. Eyes on the situation deters crime, but you never face that because your grandmother used to be outside. Why she always on the front porch? To protect you. Your mother and them used to be outside to protect you, and you never knew it. Man, the holidays not like it used to be because, fool, you big mom and them now. You auntie them now. You mother them now. So if it's not the way it used to be, and you over 40, you're the reason. But we don't see it's still people outside. Ain't nobody robbing your car or busting in your car while you sitting there looking at it. I'm not gonna do that. You think somebody gonna walk up to your car and steal something out of it right in front of your house? Nope. Nope. Or if you try, they just may get injured. See, again, last week, what did I say last week? I said, what we need to do is all get registered to be firearms owners. We must all learn to shoot those said firearms. We must enroll our children in things like martial arts and self-defense. That way, everybody who comes to your community who's looking to cut a fool, they'll understand. This might not be the place to do that. And see, these are the things that we continue to overlook. And as we overlook them, we fall victim to them. We fall victim to them. We never get the thing done. We never get the thing done. We must start doing these things. It's easy. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. How about this? Everybody in America says Chicago and America's the most violent place in the world. Now, what I want you to understand is this. America is going to always be a violent situation. You know why? Because America is built on violence. This is a crime scene. I keep telling y'all, we live in a crime scene. They came over here and took things from people. They rape people. They kill people. They put disease on people purposely. So it's going to be a violent situation, but it's not as violent as you think. How many people, a couple days ago was the anniversary of January 6th, 3-year anniversary of January 6th, when people stormed the Capitol and tried to take over the government. But you got people not talking about history. You got people not talking about history. We're not going to talk about history because the New York Post, the New York Times literally had this to say. They said, January 6th, according to Biden and according to Trump. There is no according to Biden and according to Trump. It's one January 6th, y'all. It was one. It was one. That's it. That's all. I'm looking at some of my notes. And as I continue to talk to you, it's just one January 6th, people. And the truth is the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. That's all it is. It's only going to be the truth. You can't make the truth something else. You cannot make the truth something else. I'm going to show y'all how, while you are sitting up looking at each other, talking about, hey man, these people in the neighborhood crazy, and man, they need to cut it out. We need to get our act together, man. I'm gonna show y'all this video. This video is gonna knock your socks off. This video will shock you to no end. This is why they are doing their very best to stop us from knowing our history, because this is what they're teaching in history. This is the history that they're talking about. When I show you this video, hey man, I almost fell off my couch when I saw it. I almost literally fell off my couch. I was like, you got to be kidding, man. You got to be damn kidding. Because this thing right here is the most egregious and most disrespectful thing I've ever heard about our people in the history of hearing something stupid about our people. I'm going to play this video. I'm going to hit pause. I'm going to restart it. And I want y'all to hear this. When you hear this, you're going to understand. You know, I always have people consistently tell me, yo, Ryan, why you hate white people so much? I don't hate white people, man. I just want y'all to understand this is what white people think. You know, I remember years ago.
Washington, D.C. and have a...
This is what I'm talking about.
150 years ago, or 200 years ago, when the blacks were slaves.
Of course.
Did they ever go to Washington, D.C. and have a rally 200 years ago to protest against slavery? Did they? No. What did they do? Well, a lot of good people in the plantations would say, hey, it's wintertime. Let us help build a church for you, dear folks. And they loved them and taught them how to read so they can read the Bible. And here's what the blacks did about 150 years ago. They humbled themselves. They prayed. They sought God's face and they turned from their wicked ways, and God made slavery illegal through several white presidents, right? It worked, didn't it? They didn't protest.
Rarely has a lightning bolt from the heavens.
Did you hear that, man? This dude is sitting in front of a congregation at a church and telling people that it was black people turned from their wicked ways, and that's when they got free. He's not a fool. We fools. He's not a fool. We're fools. Because we keep saying, man, white people not that bad. Individual white people aren't that bad. But collectively, I'm sorry. Look, if you doubt what I'm saying, I get it, man. Because we all got some cool white homies. We do. Some of us living with white folk, love white people. I got some, hey, some of the white cats I know, some of the coolest people in the world. But all I want to know is this. If collectively, this is a good group of people, how is it that it's more dangerous for my daughter to have a baby than it was for my mama to have my older sister? Why is it that you having your grandmother and your mother have more voters' rights than you have right now? Why is it that they are allowing people to dismantle the Bill of Rights? The 1965 Civil Rights Act. Now, why are they attacking us at every? Why? When? At what point in the history of the United States was teaching history a bad thing? And do you know some people at their church that believe that fool, man? Yeah. Critical race theory is a crime. I mean, you can't teach critical race theory. First and foremost, this is CRT. They have literally put it on Twitter. We are gonna make CRT a bad thing. Critical race theory is a graduate level course at a university, which means that in order to get critical race theory, you must go to elementary school, you must go to high school, you must graduate from college, get accepted into a law school or a continuing education course, and then you must pick that class. So why are we talking about it? Critical race theory shows you that Abraham Lincoln wasn't a nice guy. That's all it does. It shows you that Abraham Lincoln wasn't this warm and fuzzy guy, and he loved black people. He was a bigot too. He was a white nationalist. He was a separatist. He was a desegregationist. And then they put it, it's that dude, that Trump. No, Trump just made it comfortable to be racist again. He allowed people to be the clowns that they truly are. So it may sound a bit harsh for me to say, hey, man, all white people not good. They're not. All black people not good. But guess what? We don't have the power to make them suffer. They do. Explain to me why everything isn't fair for everybody in this country if everybody is so good. See, we need to stop worrying about ourselves. Question. This is a question posed by one of my favorite people in Black history. His name is Kwame Ture. You may know him as Stokely Carmichael for the Black Panther Party of Self-Defense. He said, capitalism is designed to stop you from thinking. And if it was so good, why is it that you are only told to address the problem, not the root of the problem? See, if I start coughing right now, I'm sick, I'm not feeling well, you know what I do then? I can take some cough medicine and go to bed, and I feel better for a few hours, and I wake up, take some more cough medicine, and I feel better. I'm addressing the problem, which is the cough. The problem may be I need to change my pillowcases and sheets, because when I take that cough medicine, I'm exhaling on those sheets and pillowcases and that comforter, and I'm putting germs right into those because I'm exhaling those germs. And I'm inhaling those same germs, reinfecting myself. I get up feeling better because I've taken drugs. Now, how about this? I go buy a can of Lysol. I spray everything in my house that I touch on a regular basis. Faucet, sinks, door handles, refrigerator door, stove, sinks, everything. Change those sheets and pillowcases. I lay down in the sink, spray down that bed, Lysol, disinfectant, killing 99.9% of the germs, right? Spray my pillows, put pillowcases back on them, put more sheets on them, another comforter, lay down, and I'm breathing fresh, disinfected air. And I've solved the problem, because rest and food would dissipate a cold, away the cold. Like, the old folks used to say, feed a cold, starve a fever. You got a fever's running off energy. You depower down the body, breaks the fever, you're good. You're running on the cold, more than likely you're not having enough rest. You've touched what is called a rhinovirus. You touch the eye, touch the nose. Now you've infected yourself. But if you spray down everything, those germs are killed. You lay on your bed, you're inhaling that same disinfectant, you get more rest because you have taken those drugs. Now you've addressed the problem. So it ain't, why are you using drugs? Why are you stealing? I mean, it ain't you stealing. Why you using drugs? Why are you using drugs? Why are you stealing? Why are you being what we would deem lazy? You're not being lazy. You're defeated. So why are you defeated? Because you're watching the news every day. You're hearing about all this crime. You're hearing about all this unemployment. You're hearing about how you're going to be mistreated and disrespected, and you're just not going to get a fair shot. So guess what? You believe that. And now your morale is down. And now you're not willing to do what it takes. These are the things that we need to be aware of. How many people heard the United States Attorney General come out and say, crime is down nationwide? How many of y'all heard Merrick Garland said, crime is down? How many people knew that? You don't, because you know what you do? You know what you do know? When on every news channel in the United States of America, if it bleeds, it leads. First thing you do when you turn on the 10 o'clock news tonight, you're going to hear about violence at the Gaza Strip. You hear about the Palestinian situation. Then you're going to hear about the Russian war. And then you're going to hear about violence here in Chicago or somewhere in America. And then they're going to say, oh, by the way, H-Rap's son was drafted by the ... and he got a big old pile of money. And you know what that does? That makes people say, only thing they can do is run, jump, dance, and entertain us. You never hear about that young lady who 14 years old and got 109 scholarships. You never hear about that. You hear about those women who are fighting cancer. You never hear about that. You never hear about the young ladies who figured out a 2,000-year-old problem, the Pythagorean theorem. 2,000 years old. Y'all didn't hear about that. 2 black girls. You don't hear about those things. See, so while we worry about this foolishness and we're inundated with the negativity, let's start opening our eyes. Download Haiti. It's called Haiti, but the correct pronunciation is Haiti, the country, but Haiti as we call it. Download the app. All a collection of black media outlets. Oh man, the media, how they gonna be better? Why would you assume that they're better than the white outlets? Give you one example right before I check out. After the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan, at the end of the WW2, World War II, ended it, won, victory. For victory, depending on what side of the fence you started on. Everybody said, we're gonna be straight. A black man who was a reporter at a black newspaper wrote an article about how that's going to be radioactive for a very long time. And it's going to affect a lot of people. He broke that story, and that story ended up being true. So white media coming out and saying, hey, no, what are you talking about? It's going to be great. And then the brother showed up and said, nah, I'm going to form a doctor. I was a doctor before I was a reporter. And this is what happened when radioactivity hits the ground and spreads and dissolves. You get radioactivity in the ocean, in the land, and so forth and so on. It's probably still people suffer from it today. More than likely it is. But it's only a certain amount of radioactivity that will make it comfortable for you to live, right? Who can be comfortable with radioactivity? No one. So what we have to do is take the necessary steps to enhance our lives and make our lives better places to be and better lives to live. With that being said, I want to thank you for tuning in. And I really appreciate you giving me time, and thank you for coming in later than is normal. If you got a link for me, share that link with somebody. After the show, hey, how about this? I want to cheat. I'm going to cheat. After the show, make sure you take that link and start the show again and move to the end. And hit like. Just do it for me. Help me every week. Help me, help you, help me. Hit like. Slide up. Even if you don't like it, man, H-Rap, I like him, but that was stupid. Put you to the end, hit like. Comment. You'll be doing me a favor. Help me put a little extra shekels in my pocket. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Ain't what it used to be. I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. I also want to salute the people who I get inspiration from. That's the Ghetto Boy. So actually, it's just Willie D now. Willie D, Tariq Nasheed, Nori, Talib Kweli, Zoe Williams, Sway Calloway, Roland Martin, Al Sharpton, Heather B, Clay Kane. My personal favorite, Larry Daniel favorites, Dr. Greg Cobb, one of the most informed men I've ever come in contact with. Queen Karen Hunter, she would choke me out if I said that other thing. And I want y'all to say a prayer for Bye-Bye Joe Madison. This brother called himself the Black Eagle, one of the most progressive men in the world. He had prostate cancer about 10 years ago, crept back into his life about 6 weeks ago. I need y'all to say a prayer for the Black Eagle Joe Madison. It's your man H-Rap. I see y'all tomorrow. I'll be on with the sports governor, Vince Wright, tomorrow. He'll be on Hold My Beer Sports. It was a blast to see y'all this last time. I would like to thank y'all. I'm about to tune in or tune out because I'm hungry as a hostage. I haven't eaten all day. 2 figures, 1 word. It's your man H-Rap, and I am.
We lust for that cheese, we lose sleep, dreams of that cream. We killing our teens, they down for this American dream. Them government schemes, they turning us to hustlers and fiends. We hustling trees, them politicians smuggling green. Chasing that cheese, got everybody stressed in the streets. Pardon me for speaking freely, let it breathe. Evangelists preach the congregations out of their seats. They writing them checks for tithes, now it's people can't eat. She stripping for change for school, now she giving them brains. She used to that loot, she earning, now she giving them strain. He new to this game, but hungry, so he cooking his cane. He getting that paper, but then they gave him 2 to the brain. There's rules to this game, but hustlers never hustle for fame. The spirit of greed is grimy, so we struggle to change. They put us in chains to take away our African names. But if we submissive and don't resist, then who do we blame? It's all a game, man. These Europeans staking they claim, and you a victim of their game plan. You thinking they ain't, you thinking they saints. Remember all them niggas they hang? Killed our women and our children, all our leaders is slain. They gave us Obama, but that nigga was hoping for change. But Zimmerman is killing niggas and he free. Shit is crazy, babies having these babies and getting checked. But keep the child from they pop to rip his heart out his chest. Our rappers was leaders and now they in the booth in the dress. Spitting bullshit and making more but giving us less. They taking our sound and changing ours, dumbing it down. They taking our jobs and homes and they shutting us out. They taking our kids because it ain't a man in the house. They locking us down, but soon they gon' be wiping us out. They told our women they was too independent to need a man. They told our brother he was too insignificant to advance. It's all a game, man. These Europeans staking they claim. And you a victim of their game plan. You thinking they ain't, you thinking they saints. Remember all them niggas they hang? Killed our women and our children, all our leaders is slain. It's all a game.